Hey everyone! Welcome back to our Re in English channel podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for joining us again. Today's topic is one I really love. Educate yourself every day. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, it's all about learning continuously, not just in school, but through everyday experiences, reading, listening, talking, and reflecting.
Exactly. Education isn't just something you finish, it's something you live.
And we'll explore how you can make learning a daily habit, whether it's about improving your English, developing new skills, or growing as a person.
So, grab your notebook or your coffee, and let's talk about how to stay curious and keep learning every single day.
You know, Jack, I used to think learning only happened in classrooms. Teachers, homework, exams.
Yeah, same here. But after university, I realized that real learning starts after school ends.
Totally, because that's when you're on your own. You choose what to learn, when, and how.
Exactly. And that choice is powerful. When you educate yourself daily, you become independent. You don't wait for someone to tell you what to study or when to improve.
Right, and honestly, learning every day keeps your brain active. It's like exercise for your mind.
True. If you stop learning, it's like your mind starts to slow down. You stop questioning, you stop growing.
I've seen people who never stop learning. They're more open-minded, more confident, and even happier.
Yeah, they're always excited about something new. A book, a podcast, a new skill.
And that energy is contagious. When you talk to lifelong learners, you feel motivated too.
So let's get practical. How do we actually educate ourselves every day?
Great question. I think the key is to make learning small, simple, and consistent. You don't need hours. Even 15 minutes a day makes a difference.
Yeah, like reading one article, listening to one podcast episode, or learning one new expression in English.
Exactly. The secret is consistency, not quantity.
Right, and it's easier when you connect learning with things you love.
Like, if you love cooking, watch videos in English about cooking. You'll improve your language and learn new recipes at the same time.
Or if you like sports, follow interviews with athletes in English. It keeps learning fun.
I think fun is the key word here. If learning feels like a chore, you'll quit. But if it's fun, you'll stick with it.
Yeah, and one thing that helps me is journaling what I learn each day. Just a few sentences about something new I discovered.
That's a great habit. Writing helps you remember and reflect. You know what's interesting? We often learn the most when we fail.
Oh yeah, failure is like the best teacher if you pay attention.
Exactly. I remember when I tried to start my first online business. I made so many mistakes, but looking back, I learned more from that experience than any course I took.
That's so true. People are afraid of failing, but every mistake teaches you something valuable. What doesn't work, what to improve, what to avoid next time.
And curiosity is what drives all that. If you stay curious, you'll always keep learning, even from small things.
Curiosity is such a powerful mindset. When you ask why or how, you start discovering.
I love that. Kids do this naturally. They ask so many questions. But as adults, we sometimes stop asking.
Yeah, we assume we already know enough. But the smartest people I know are always the most curious.
Totally. They read, explore, listen, and they never stop asking questions.
Let's talk about using English itself as part of daily education.
Oh, yes. Learning English is not just a language goal, it's a gateway to more knowledge.
Exactly. Once you understand English, you can read books, listen to podcasts, and watch videos from around the world.
That's a huge advantage. You get access to so much information.
Yeah, I tell my students, don't study English only to pass tests. Use it to learn new things every day.
Like reading about science, business, health, or culture, all in English.
Right. That way you improve your English naturally while also learning something else.
It's like killing two birds with one stone, language and knowledge together.
And when you make that a daily habit, your brain starts to think in English automatically.
Yes, that's when you know you're not just learning the language, you're living it. Some people say, I'm too busy to learn every day.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. But honestly, we all have small pockets of time we can use.
Totally, like when you're on the bus, doing laundry, or walking, you can listen to something educational.
Exactly. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, it all adds up.
And I think social media can help too if you use it wisely.
Yes, follow accounts that teach or inspire you instead of just scrolling aimlessly.
That's right. Replace mindless scrolling with mindful learning.
That's a great phrase. Mindful learning. It's all about intention.
Yep, even one smart post or short video can teach you something new.
Let's share some real examples. Emma, what's something new you learned recently?
Hmm. Oh, I learned how to grow herbs indoors. I watched a few videos, and now my kitchen smells like mint and basil.
That's awesome. And see, that's learning. It's not from a textbook, but it's useful and fun.
Exactly. What about you, Jack?
I've been learning a bit of psychology, like how habits are formed. It's fascinating how small changes can shape behavior.
That connects perfectly with our topic. Educating yourself daily means building habits that last.
Yes, and it's all connected. Learning about health, time management, creativity, it all adds value to your life.
Definitely. Every small thing you learn makes you a little bit better than yesterday.
I think the most important thing is mindset.
Absolutely. When you see yourself as a lifelong learner, you stop being afraid of not knowing everything.
Yeah, you become comfortable with the idea that learning never ends.
That's true freedom, when you enjoy learning instead of feeling forced.
And you start to realize that every person you meet can teach you something.
Yes, everyone knows something you don't. That's why listening is such a powerful learning tool.
Totally. I try to ask questions when I meet people, not just to talk, but to understand.
That's a beautiful way to live, open, curious, and humble. Let's talk about experiences. Some of the best lessons come from real life.
Definitely. Travel, for example, it's one of the best teachers.
Yes, you learn languages, cultures, manners, and even problem solving.
Exactly. When you travel, you face unexpected challenges, and each one teaches you resilience.
And sometimes you don't even need to travel. Just stepping outside your comfort zone is an education.
True. Learning to cook, volunteer, or even start a small project all of that teaches you skills and patience.
And those experiences shape your character. That's education in its purest form.
So, if you're listening right now, remember, learning isn't something you do once. It's something you do always.
Yes, every day, try to learn one new thing. It doesn't matter how small it seems.
Exactly. Over time, small learning moments build a big difference.
Imagine who you'll be 1 year from now if you keep learning daily.
Smarter, more confident, more capable. That's for sure.
And the best part, you'll inspire others to do the same.
All right, friends, that's all for today's episode. Educate yourself every day.
We hope this conversation inspired you to keep learning, to stay curious, and to grow a little bit every single day.
Remember, education isn't about grades or degrees, it's about mindset and action.
Exactly. Learn something new today, even if it's small, because progress is built day by day.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune in next time for more English learning conversations.
Until then, keep learning and keep smiling.
See you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for tuning in today. We've got a topic that every English learner, and honestly, anyone trying to improve their speaking, needs to hear.
That's right. Today we're going to talk about training your mouth to speak. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yep, not just learning words in your head, but actually getting your mouth used to saying them naturally.
Exactly, because so many people say, I understand English, but I can't speak it.
Right, and usually it's not because they don't know the words, it's because their mouth isn't used to moving that way yet.
Yes, speaking is a muscle skill. You've got to train your mouth like you'd train your body at the gym.
So today we're basically your English-speaking fitness coaches.
I love that. Okay, let's dive in.
So let's start with something we both hear all the time. I know English, but when I try to speak, nothing comes out.
Yes, that's probably the number one frustration I hear from students.
Why do you think that happens?
I think it's because people study English with their eyes and ears, but not with their mouth.
Totally. They read, listen, take notes, but they don't practice saying things out loud.
Exactly. It's like trying to learn to swim by watching YouTube videos about swimming, but never actually getting in the pool.
Great example. And the thing is, speaking uses muscles. Your tongue, lips, jaw, all of that needs practice.
Yes, you can't just think, I know the grammar, and expect it to come out fluently.
So you have to build what I call muscle memory for your mouth.
I love that phrase, muscle memory for your mouth. That's exactly what we're talking about today.
So let's break it down a bit. When you speak English, your brain first has to think of the idea, then choose the words, then your mouth has to move in the right rhythm and shape.
Right. And if your mouth isn't used to those movements, like the th sound or the rhythm of English sentences, you hesitate.
Exactly. It's like when you first learn to play the guitar. Your fingers just don't go where you want them to.
Perfect comparison. You can know the notes in theory, but you have to train your fingers to move without thinking.
And in English speaking, it's the same. You have to train your mouth until it moves automatically.
Yes, that's when fluency happens, when your mouth can keep up with your brain.
So if you've ever felt that your brain is faster than your mouth, this episode is for you.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get practical. Emma, how can people actually train their mouth to speak?
Good question. The simplest way? Start speaking out loud every day, even if you're alone.
I love that. Talk to yourself, describe what you're doing, or repeat things you hear.
Exactly. You can repeat movie lines, imitate podcasts, or even read books aloud.
Reading aloud is such an underrated method. It helps your mouth practice pronunciation, rhythm, and speed.
Totally. And it's also a safe way to practice because no one's judging you.
That's huge because fear stops people from speaking.
Yes, fear of making mistakes or sounding silly, but when you practice alone, there's no pressure. I used to practice by shadowing, listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately after it.
That's an amazing technique. It trains your mouth and your ear at the same time.
Exactly. You get the sound, the intonation, and the muscle movement all together.
And you start to feel English instead of just thinking about it.
That's the key. Fluency is physical, not just mental.
That's so true. I always tell my students, you don't think your way to fluency, you speak your way to fluency.
That's a great line. Can I steal that?
Go ahead. But it's true. The more you speak, the easier it gets.
So let's talk about the struggles. What do people usually find hardest about training their mouth?
For most people, it's two things: pronunciation and fear.
Yeah, pronunciation is tricky, especially sounds that don't exist in your native language.
Exactly. Like the English R or th. Your mouth just isn't used to making those shapes.
So how do you fix that?
Practice slow and exaggerated. Don't rush. Say the sound clearly and feel where your tongue is.
That's great advice. It's like learning dance moves. Slow first, then speed up.
Yes. And about fear, people need to stop being afraid of sounding wrong.
Definitely. Nobody speaks perfectly all the time.
Right. Even native speakers make mistakes. The goal is communication, not perfection.
I think the key is building confidence through action.
Yes, the more you speak, the more your confidence grows.
It's like your mouth and your mind need to trust each other.
I like that. And one day you realize, hey, I'm speaking without thinking so hard anymore.
That's the moment of fluency. It's a beautiful thing.
Let's share some concrete exercises people can do every day to train their mouth.
Great idea. I'll start with one. Mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself for 5 minutes.
Yes, watch your mouth move. It helps you become aware of how you shape sounds.
Exactly. You can also practice smiling while speaking. It improves clarity and confidence.
True, and it makes your voice sound friendlier.
What's your favorite technique?
I love tongue twisters. They're fun and train agility. Try saying red lorry, yellow lorry 5 times fast.
Nope, can't do it.
It's hard, but it trains your tongue and your rhythm.
Another one I like is shadow practice with English movies or YouTube videos.
That's so effective. You imitate the speaker in real time, so you train pronunciation, speed, and emotion.
Yes, and you also learn intonation, which is what makes speech sound natural.
Exactly. Many learners sound robotic because they focus on words, not melody.
I love that. English has melody, rhythm, and music. You have to feel the flow.
Yes. So daily practice with rhythm and emotion helps train your mouth and your expression.
Let's talk about consistency, because a lot of people start strong, then stop after a week.
So true. The secret isn't doing a lot once, it's doing a little every day.
Exactly. Like brushing your teeth. You don't do it for hours once a month, you do it daily.
Great example. Daily repetition is what builds new speaking habits.
I think people underestimate the power of 5 minutes a day.
Absolutely. Even just 5 minutes of focused speaking can rewire your mouth and your brain.
I like to tell learners, don't wait for motivation, build a routine.
Yes, habit beats motivation every time.
What's a good daily routine, you think?
Maybe something like this: 5 minutes of shadowing, 5 minutes of reading aloud, and 5 minutes of self talk.
That's brilliant. Just 15 minutes, but powerful.
Yes, if you do that every day for a month, your mouth will feel different when you speak.
That's such a cool thing to literally feel your English changing.
It's real. Your muscles adapt. Your pronunciation becomes easier. Your flow gets smoother.
Before we wrap up, I want to say something to everyone listening. Fluency is not magic, it's training.
Yes, you don't wake up fluent. You train your mouth every day until speaking feels natural.
Exactly, like learning to ride a bike. Wobbly at first, smooth later.
And don't be afraid of mistakes. Every mistake is part of training.
Totally. Fluency grows through action, not perfection.
So keep talking, keep moving your mouth, and your English will grow stronger every day.
I love that. And remember, it's not about how long you study, it's about how often you speak.
Well said, Jack.
Thanks, coach.
You're welcome, coach.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode. Train your mouth to speak.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and soon your mouth will follow your thoughts without fear.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Stay confident and keep training. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Reen English Channel podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. It's great to have you with us again. Today's topic is something that almost every English learner has experienced at some point: understanding English but not being able to speak it fluently. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Oh, yes, that's one of the most common frustrations I hear from students. They say, Emma, I can understand movies, podcasts, even native speakers, but when I try to speak, my mind just goes blank.
Exactly. It's like their brain knows the words, but their mouth doesn't cooperate. Today we're going to dig into why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it.
Right. And we'll share some of our own stories, tips, and also some exercises that can help listeners move from passive understanding to active speaking.
So let's start with the question: why does this happen? Why do so many people understand English well but can't speak it easily?
I think the first reason is that people spend too much time inputting, listening, reading, memorizing, and not enough time outputting, actually using the language.
That's so true. I had a student who watched tons of English series, Friends, The Office, How I Met Your Mother. She understood almost everything, but when she had to talk to a foreign colleague, she froze.
Yes, because understanding is a passive skill and speaking is an active one. They're connected, but they develop differently. You can't expect to speak fluently just by listening or reading. You have to train your mouth and your brain together.
Exactly. It's like understanding how to play piano by watching YouTube tutorials. You can learn theory, but until you put your fingers on the keys, you won't actually play.
I love that analogy. And there's also the fear factor. People are often afraid of making mistakes, so they avoid speaking.
Absolutely. Fear is a huge barrier. Learners often think, what if I say something wrong? What if I sound stupid? But that mindset stops progress.
Mistakes are actually signs of progress. They mean you're trying. Every fluent speaker once made hundreds of mistakes.
Exactly. So maybe the first step to overcoming this issue is to accept that mistakes are part of learning.
Let's go a bit deeper into passive and active knowledge. When you understand a word, it's in your passive vocabulary. Your brain recognizes it when you hear or read it.
But when you can use it instantly, that's active vocabulary. The problem is, many learners have a big passive vocabulary, but a small active one.
Yes, and that's why it feels like you know the words but can't speak. You know them passively, but they're not connected to the muscle memory of speaking.
That's where speaking practice comes in. The more you use those words in real conversation, the faster they move from passive to active memory.
Absolutely. I always tell my students speaking is like exercising a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak.
Right. And repetition is key. You can't expect to use a new word fluently after seeing it once. You need to say it, write it, use it in different situations.
One great technique is shadowing. You listen to a short audio, repeat exactly what you hear, mimicking the pronunciation, rhythm, even intonation.
Yes, that's powerful because it connects listening with speaking instantly. It helps your brain and mouth work together in real time.
Let's talk more about the emotional side, the fear of speaking.
Yeah, that's a big one. Even advanced learners sometimes feel shy or embarrassed to speak English.
I used to feel that way when I was learning French. I could understand everything, but when I had to speak, I'd overthink. I'd translate in my head, and by the time I was ready, the conversation had already moved on.
I totally get that. The key is stop translating. You have to start thinking in English.
Yes, translating slows you down because your brain is switching between two languages.
Instead, focus on forming ideas in English. Start small, simple sentences, simple ideas. Over time, your brain gets used to that pattern.
Another thing, talk to yourself. I know it sounds funny, but it really helps.
Oh, absolutely. I do it all the time when learning a new language. Describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm going to the store. I feel tired today. It keeps your brain active in English mode.
Exactly. And it builds confidence because you're practicing without pressure or judgment.
Fear disappears with practice and exposure. The more you speak, even to yourself, the less scary it becomes.
Let's talk about practical things listeners can do daily to improve.
Yeah. Number one, speak every day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Consistency matters more than duration.
Totally agree. You can record yourself talking about a topic, then listen back. You'll notice what sounds natural and what needs improvement.
That's a great idea. It's like having your own speaking diary.
Exactly. And don't focus on perfection. Focus on clarity and flow.
Another idea, join online speaking groups or language exchange platforms. Talking to real people helps you practice in real situations.
Yes, and you'll realize most people don't care about your mistakes. They just want to communicate.
Right. Language is about connection, not perfection.
Let's talk about confidence. How can someone who's shy or nervous about speaking English build confidence?
Start small. Don't jump straight into long conversations. Begin with short sentences, greetings, small talk.
And celebrate small wins. If you said something clearly today that you couldn't say last week, that's progress.
Yes, confidence grows from noticing your improvement.
Also, practice positive self talk. Instead of saying, my English is terrible, say, I'm improving every day.
That makes a big difference. Your mindset shapes your progress.
And confidence is contagious. The more you speak, the more confident you become. It's a loop.
Let's come back to that idea. Thinking in English. It's a big step from understanding to speaking.
Definitely. One trick I tell students, start labeling things around you in English. For example, when you see your phone, think phone. When you open the window, think window.
That rewires your brain to use English naturally.
Yes, and once your thoughts start forming in English, your speaking becomes much smoother.
Another tip, stop focusing too much on grammar when you speak.
Oh, yes. Grammar is important, but not during conversation. You can study grammar separately, but when speaking, focus on communication.
Right. It's better to say something slightly incorrect than to say nothing at all.
Let's summarize the path from understanding English to speaking fluently.
Step 1, accept mistakes. Step 2, speak daily. Step 3, connect listening with speaking.
Step 4, think in English. Step 5, focus on confidence, not perfection.
Exactly. And it takes time. Fluency doesn't come overnight, but with steady practice, it always comes.
Every person who can now speak fluently once couldn't. The only difference is they kept practicing.
Do you remember that student from Japan you told me about? The one who couldn't speak at all at first?
Oh, yes. She could understand everything in class, but never spoke. I gave her a challenge. Talk to herself for 5 minutes every morning.
And did it work?
It did. After a month, she started answering questions in class. After 3 months, she was having full conversations.
That's amazing. It really shows that consistency beats talent.
Exactly. And she told me later the biggest change wasn't in her English, it was in her confidence.
For our listeners who are struggling with this, I want to say you're not alone.
Absolutely. Everyone goes through this stage. It's not a sign of failure, it's part of the process.
The key is to keep speaking, even when it feels uncomfortable. That's where real growth happens.
And remember, understanding means you're halfway there. You already have the foundation. Speaking is just the next step.
So don't stop. Keep practicing, keep talking, and keep believing in yourself.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've talked about why people can understand English but struggle to speak it. More importantly, how to overcome that.
Exactly. If you take just one thing from this episode, let it be this. Don't be afraid to speak. Fluency grows with every word you say.
Keep practicing, be patient with yourself, and remember, every time you open your mouth in English, you're improving.
Thank you all for listening. We hope this episode inspired you to start speaking without fear.
Until next time, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
See you in the next episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Reen English Channel podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for tuning in again. Today's topic is one of my favorites. You become what you think. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, this one is deep. It's a phrase we've all heard before, but when you really think about it, it's true. Your thoughts shape your reality, your behavior, and even your future.
Exactly. The idea is that the thoughts we hold most often, whether positive or negative, eventually become our beliefs, and our beliefs shape the way we act.
It's like our minds are gardens. Whatever we plant, whether flowers or weeds, that's what grows.
I love that analogy. Today we're going to talk about how your thoughts can literally shape who you become. Your confidence, your success, your relationships, your habits, everything.
And we'll share some stories, science, and practical ways to train your mind to think in ways that help you, not hold you back.
Let's start with the basic idea. How do our thoughts actually affect who we become?
I think it begins with self-image. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I always fail, your brain starts to believe it. And once your brain believes it, your behavior follows.
Right. You start acting in ways that match that belief. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. I once heard someone say, your brain listens to every word you tell it. So if your internal voice is negative, your life will reflect that negativity.
Yeah, that's why positive thinking isn't just about being cheerful. It's about rewiring your brain to look for opportunity instead of limitation.
And what's interesting is this isn't just motivational talk. There's real science behind it. Studies in neuroscience show that our thoughts create neural pathways, and the more you think a certain way, the stronger that pathway becomes.
So if you think I can't, that becomes your default setting. But if you start thinking I can learn, you train your brain to look for solutions instead of excuses.
Exactly. Our thoughts literally change the structure of our brains.
Let's talk about the opposite side, negative thinking, because we all fall into that trap sometimes.
Oh, definitely. It's easy to underestimate how much our negative thoughts hold us back. They can affect our confidence, health, and even relationships.
Right, like when you constantly think, I'm unlucky, you start noticing only the bad things. You ignore the good stuff because your mind is trained to see the negative.
That's confirmation bias. Your brain looks for evidence that supports what you already believe. So if you believe you're unlucky, you'll find proof of it everywhere.
And then it becomes your story. Bad things always happen to me. But in reality, it's your focus that's shaping your experience.
I went through that myself once. There was a time I used to say, I'm always tired. Guess what? I was always tired.
That's such a relatable one.
But when I changed my self talk to, I have energy, I'm getting stronger, my body started responding. I didn't magically become superhuman, but I felt more energetic because my mind wasn't repeating the same negative pattern.
That's powerful. And I think the same happens with learning, success, or speaking a new language. If you think I'll never be fluent, you stop yourself from improving.
Yes, the mind gives up before the body does.
So let's say someone listening realizes their thoughts are mostly negative. How do they change that?
The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself all day?
Yeah, because that voice in your head is with you 24/7.
Exactly. If that voice is toxic, your life will feel toxic. So, once you become aware, you can start replacing negative thoughts with more helpful ones.
Not fake positivity, though. I think that's important. Saying everything's perfect when it's not can feel dishonest.
Right. It's not about pretending life is great. It's about choosing empowering thoughts. Like instead of, I can't do this, say, I'll figure this out.
That shift sounds small, but it changes your energy completely.
I call it mental substitution. Every time a negative thought appears, consciously replace it with something better.
That's a great exercise. It's like going to the gym for your brain.
Exactly. At first, it feels hard, but over time, you build mental strength.
Let's talk about language. The words we use every day shape how we think.
Oh, yes. For example, saying, I have to go to work feels different from, I get to go to work.
Right. One feels like a burden, the other feels like gratitude.
Our brains are sensitive to the words we choose. If you constantly say, I'm so busy, you'll feel overwhelmed. But if you say, I'm managing a lot right now, it feels more balanced.
That's subtle but powerful. It's like your brain listens to tone, not just meaning.
Absolutely. The more we speak with positive intention, the more we shift our mindset.
It reminds me of that saying, words are free, but how you use them can cost you everything.
That's so true. The way we talk to ourselves becomes our reality.
Have you ever used visualization in your life?
Oh, yes, many times. I used it when I started public speaking. I used to get super nervous. So I would imagine myself walking confidently on stage, smiling, speaking clearly.
That's powerful.
It worked. My brain didn't know the difference between imagining it and actually doing it.
That's the crazy part. The subconscious mind responds to what you picture as if it's real. That's why athletes use visualization before competitions.
Exactly. When you imagine yourself succeeding, your brain starts preparing your body to match that image.
It's like programming your mind for success instead of fear.
And it's free. You don't need fancy tools, just 5 minutes a day of seeing yourself as who you want to be.
Let's talk about how thoughts affect what we attract in life.
Yes, the energy you put out comes back to you. If you walk around angry, you'll attract situations that make you angrier.
True, people feel your energy even before you speak.
I've noticed that when I'm in a positive state, grateful, calm, optimistic, good things seem to flow more easily.
Same here. Opportunities appear, people are kinder, conversations go better.
It's not magic, it's just that positivity opens your perception. You start noticing the good that was already there.
That's a key point. The world doesn't always change, You change how you see it.
Exactly. You can't control everything around you, but you can control your internal world.
Let's dig into limiting beliefs, the silent barriers in our minds.
Yes, those are the hidden stories that hold people back. I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, I'll never succeed.
They sound small, but they're powerful. They shape what you try and what you avoid.
And most of those beliefs come from childhood. Someone told you something once, and you believed it.
Right, and we carry those beliefs for years without questioning them.
The moment you challenge them, you realize they're not facts, they're just thoughts.
That's the moment freedom begins, when you realize you can rewrite your beliefs.
Yes, replace I can't with I can learn. Replace it's too late with it's never too late to start.
That small mental shift changes your direction completely.
Have you noticed how people with similar skills often end up with very different results?
Oh, yes. And usually it's because of mindset. Two people can have the same talent, but the one who believes in themselves goes further.
Absolutely. I've seen students with average language skills become fluent because they had confidence and consistency.
Meanwhile, some of the most talented people give up early because they doubt themselves.
Yes, it's not ability that decides your future, it's belief.
I love that because it means everyone has the potential to grow no matter where they start.
Exactly. When your mindset says, I can, your actions align with that belief.
Let's talk about gratitude because it's one of the most powerful thought habits you can build.
Yes, gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present.
And that changes everything. When you start noticing what's good, your mind becomes more peaceful and creative.
I keep a gratitude journal. Every night I write 3 things I'm thankful for, big or small.
That's great. I do something similar. It's amazing how your day feels different when you end it with appreciation.
Gratitude is like mental sunshine. It brightens your mood instantly.
And it helps you attract more positive experiences because your focus changes.
Let's give our listeners a few practical things they can do to train their thoughts daily.
Okay, number 1, morning mindset check. When you wake up, notice your first thought. If it's negative, replace it.
Yes, start your day by setting the tone. Today will be productive, or I'm thankful for this new day.
Number 2, watch your words. Don't say things that weaken you.
Number 3, visualize success daily, even for just 5 minutes.
And number 4, limit negativity. Avoid too much complaining, gossip, or negative media.
Because what you feed your mind becomes your mental diet.
Exactly. Garbage in, garbage out. Positivity in, growth out.
Let's talk about how thoughts affect the body.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Stressful thoughts can raise your heart rate, weaken your immune system, even change your breathing.
Yes, negative thinking isn't just emotional, it's physical.
But the good news is, positive thoughts also affect the body. They release feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin.
That's why laughter, kindness, and optimism are good for your health.
It's like free medicine created by your own mind.
So, in a way, when we say you become what you think, it's literal. Even your body reacts to your thoughts.
One of my favorite topics, identity. Because your identity comes from your thoughts about yourself.
Yes. When you start saying, I am confident, even before you fully feel it, your brain starts to build that identity.
That's powerful. You act like the person you believe yourself to be.
Exactly. So if you keep thinking, I'm shy, you'll stay shy. But if you start thinking, I'm learning to be confident, you'll gradually become that person.
Identity follows intention.
Yes. Thoughts become identity, identity becomes actions, and actions create results.
Sometimes people can't think positively because they're stuck in the past.
True. Maybe they've made mistakes or experienced failure, and they keep replaying it in their minds.
But that just keeps them trapped. The past only has power if you keep thinking about it.
Exactly. You can't change what happened, but you can change what you think about it.
I like to say, don't be a prisoner of your past, be a student of it.
That's beautiful. Learn from it, then move forward. Let's shift to the future. If you become what you think, then your thoughts today are shaping your tomorrow.
Yes, every day your thoughts are like seeds. You're planting your future with them.
That's why we need to think intentionally. What do you want to become? More confident? Kinder? Healthier? Start thinking like that person now.
Because your thoughts and actions will align with that version of yourself.
Exactly. And over time, that's who you become.
So you become what you think. It's not just a saying, it's a way of living.
Yes, your life mirrors your mindset. Change your thoughts, and you change everything.
It's both simple and profound. Every day you get to choose. What kind of thoughts will you feed?
Positive ones lead to growth, joy, success. Negative ones lead to fear and limitation.
It's your choice.
So, to everyone listening, guard your thoughts, nurture them, and use them to build the life you want.
Because in the end, you truly do become what you think.
Beautifully said, Jack.
Thank you, Emma. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
We hope this episode inspires you to start thinking differently with more intention, kindness, and belief in yourself.
Until next time, keep your thoughts positive and your dreams alive.
Take care, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Real English Channel podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for joining us again, everyone. Today's episode is all about speaking English naturally. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, this is one of the most requested topics ever. So many learners tell us, I understand English, but I can't sound natural when I speak.
Right, or they say things like, I can write perfectly, but when I open my mouth, I sound robotic.
Exactly. So today, we're going to talk about how to sound more natural when speaking English. Not necessarily like a native speaker, but like yourself, just more confident and fluent.
Yeah, because speaking naturally doesn't mean copying an accent or memorizing phrases. It means speaking in a relaxed, expressive, real way.
Exactly. Let's dive in. So, Emma, how would you define speaking naturally? For me, it's when your words flow without too much overthinking. It's that feeling when you're not translating in your head.
Yeah, that's the key. Flow. When you speak naturally, your sentences connect easily, your tone changes with emotion, and you sound comfortable.
Right. Even if you make small mistakes, you keep going. You don't pause or panic.
I think that's one of the biggest differences between fluent speakers and learners who still sound unnatural. It's not about grammar, it's about rhythm.
Exactly. Some learners speak with perfect grammar but sound stiff. Others make little grammar mistakes but sound relaxed, and people understand them easily.
That's so true. Communication is about connection, not perfection.
Oh, I love that. Connection, not perfection. That could be our slogan.
Maybe we should print that on t-shirts.
So, why do you think so many learners sound unnatural when they speak?
I think it's because they learned English in classrooms that focused on textbooks instead of real communication.
Yes, most classes teach you how to pass exams, not how to talk to real people.
Exactly. So students memorize vocabulary and grammar rules, but they never learn how to use them in natural conversation.
Right. Also, learners often think too much while speaking.
Yeah, like they're mentally checking every sentence for grammar mistakes before they say it.
Which slows everything down.
Totally. And the funny thing is, when you speak slowly because you're afraid of mistakes, you actually sound less natural.
Yes, because natural speech has a certain rhythm, a mix of fast and slow, pauses, emphasis.
And emotion.
Oh, absolutely. Emotion makes your English alive.
Here's a big one. How can learners stop thinking so much when they speak?
That's a great question. I think the first step is to stop trying to translate.
Totally agree. Translation is the enemy of fluency.
Exactly. Because when you translate, you're switching between two languages in your brain, which slows you down.
Instead, you should start thinking in English.
Yes, even for small daily thoughts. Like when you're walking, say to yourself in English, "It's sunny today," or "I'm hungry."
That builds your English mind. It helps your brain get used to forming ideas directly in English.
And the more you do that, the less you hesitate.
I think this is what people mean when they say, speak English without thinking.
Exactly. It doesn't mean no brain activity. It means you're not translating word by word. You're thinking in English naturally.
And that comes with practice, not pressure.
Let's talk about one of the most powerful but underrated skills, listening.
Oh, yes. If you want to speak naturally, you have to listen naturally first.
Right, because we learn how to speak by listening, not by reading grammar books.
Exactly. Babies don't study grammar. They just listen for months before speaking.
Yes, that's how your brain learns patterns, intonation, and rhythm.
So, if someone wants to sound natural, they should listen to real English every day. Podcasts, YouTube, TV shows, real conversations.
And not just listen,
imitate.
Oh, that's so good. Shadowing is one of the best techniques ever.
For those who don't know, shadowing means you listen to a speaker and repeat immediately, trying to match their tone and rhythm.
It's like you're echoing them in real time.
It trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain all at once.
And it's fun. You start noticing small things like how native speakers link words like gonna instead of going to, or wanna instead of want to.
Right. Those are natural contractions that make you sound smoother.
I always say English has music. Not notes, but rhythm and melody.
Yes, the melody of English is what makes it sound alive.
That's what learners often miss. They focus on words, not tone.
Exactly. Natural English has ups and downs. Some words are stressed, some are relaxed.
That's called intonation, and it can totally change meaning.
For example, you're going and you're going sound completely different. One is a question, one is surprise.
Yeah, and if you don't use the right tone, you can sound flat or robotic.
So if you want to sound natural, pay attention to the music of English, the rhythm, stress, pauses, and melody.
It's like learning to sing a new song.
Yes, and every accent has its own rhythm too.
So true. But you don't need to copy anyone. Just find the rhythm that feels comfortable for you.
Here's something I always tell my students. Speak out loud every day, even if you're alone.
Absolutely. Thinking in English is great, but speaking out loud is essential.
Because your mouth needs practice too.
Exactly. The muscles of your mouth, tongue, and jaw need to get used to English sounds.
So true. At first, it feels weird, but after a few weeks, it becomes natural.
You can read articles, podcasts, or even talk to yourself.
Yes, describe what you're doing. I'm cooking dinner. I'm sending an email.
That's such a powerful exercise.
It's simple, but it builds fluency and confidence.
Let's talk about fear, because so many people are scared to speak.
Oh, yes. They're afraid of being judged, of making mistakes, or sounding stupid.
But mistakes are part of learning. You can't speak naturally if you're scared.
Exactly. Think of kids. They make mistakes all the time, but they keep talking.
Right. They don't care if their grammar isn't perfect. They focus on expressing themselves.
And that's why they learn faster.
I think adults could learn from that attitude.
Definitely. Stop trying to be perfect. Try to be real.
Yes. Natural English is full of little mistakes, pauses, and corrections.
Even native speakers make them.
Oh, yeah. We say, we restart sentences, we forget words. That's normal.
So if you want to speak naturally, don't hide your imperfections. Embrace them.
Another key to natural English, think in phrases, not single words.
Yes, that's such a game changer.
When you think word by word, your sentences sound unnatural. But when you think in small chunks, everything flows better.
For example, instead of thinking, I go to work every day, think, I go to work every day as one piece.
Exactly. That's how native speakers think, in connected phrases.
It makes speaking faster and smoother.
And you stop worrying about grammar so much because phrases already have grammar built in.
Right. It's like building blocks for fluency.
A lot of learners use textbook English, which sounds correct but not natural.
Yes. For example, people say, I do not like it, when in real life, we'd say, I don't like it.
Right. Or, I am very busy at this moment. Instead of, I'm really busy right now.
Textbook English is fine for writing, but for speaking, you need real expressions that people actually use.
Exactly. Watch movies, YouTube channels, and notice how people really talk.
And don't be afraid to copy their style.
Because imitation leads to natural speech.
Here's an important point. Speaking naturally doesn't mean sounding British or American.
Exactly. It's not about copying an accent.
It's about being clear, confident, and comfortable in your accent.
Totally. Everyone has an accent, even native speakers.
Yes, and your accent is part of your identity.
The goal isn't to erase it. The goal is to make sure people understand you easily.
Exactly. Focus on rhythm and clarity, not accent perfection.
That's what makes speech sound natural and authentic.
You know what I think helps a lot? Talking to real people, not just studying alone.
Oh, for sure. Real conversations are unpredictable. That's where the real learning happens.
Yes, you learn to react, respond, and express yourself.
And you pick up natural phrases that aren't in textbooks.
Like small talk. How's it going? What have you been up to? Those are everywhere in daily life.
Exactly. You can't get comfortable unless you actually use English.
So true. The more you talk, the more natural you sound.
Another thing that makes people sound unnatural, trying too hard.
Yes, they force themselves to speak like someone else.
And that kills naturalness.
You don't need to sound like a movie actor. You just need to sound like you.
Exactly. Confidence and comfort are more attractive than perfection.
So true. Relax, smile, and speak from your heart.
That's what makes your English sound alive.
Let's give some practical daily habits for our listeners.
Sure. Number 1, listen and imitate daily.
Number 2, speak out loud, even alone.
Number 3, record yourself and listen back.
Yes, that helps so much. You'll notice things you can improve.
Number 4, use English to think about your day, not just during study time.
And number 5, make mistakes proudly.
Exactly. Every mistake is progress.
Let's talk about mindset, because it's everything.
Absolutely. If you believe you sound awkward, you'll act awkward.
But if you believe you're improving and growing, your confidence grows.
It's all about what you tell yourself.
Yes, you don't need to be perfect to sound natural. You just need to be authentic.
Natural speakers don't try to be perfect, they try to be real.
Exactly. Be curious, expressive, and kind to yourself.
So, to wrap up, speaking English naturally isn't about memorizing, it's about feeling.
Yes, it's about rhythm, emotion, and comfort.
It's about building small habits, listening, speaking, thinking, repeating.
And not judging yourself for mistakes.
Right. Natural English comes from relaxed confidence, not fear.
So, to everyone listening, keep speaking, keep listening, and trust your progress.
Because the more you speak, the more natural you'll sound.
Exactly. It's like learning to dance. At first, it's awkward, then it becomes natural.
I love that.
You would.
Well, this has been an awesome chat.
Yes, and we hope it helps you speak English more naturally with joy, not pressure.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, fluency grows one conversation at a time.
Beautifully said. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.